Hello there, my name's Claire and you're watching Stitchem. So thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Today's video is a collaboration with the lovely Katrina from Create Something Pretty. Now we have done the same dress but obviously in two different fabrics. I've no idea what Katrina's make looks like, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely beautiful, going by the other things that she has made on for her channel or on her channel. Just amazing. So if you haven't seen Katrina's channel before, please do hop over after you've watched this one obviously and watch Katrina's video and all of her other videos as well. I will link all of Katrina's details in the description box below. Now the dress that we decided to make after a little bit of deliberation over what pattern we should make is the closet core knit dress. Now obviously we've just come out of kind of the summer months, however it's still actually really quite warm in the UK at the moment. As the day that I'm filming this, it's probably still about 23 degrees, which is totally unusual for the end of for the beginning of October. No idea how long we'll have this weather for, but I am not complaining at all. So the closet core knit dress. So this is the pattern here. You can sew up a blouse version or a dress. You can do short sleeve or big long sleeves, and obviously you can decide how many tiers you want to do on the dress as well. Now this pattern comes in two different size ranges, a 0 to 20 and a 14 to 32, and so hopefully a really nice size inclusive pattern. And it's not one of those, although you choose which size range you're after, when they send it to you as a PDF you get both size ranges, which I think is great, because sometimes somebody like myself in fact is kind of teetering between those two different size ranges, and so depending on the pattern itself it's difficult to know which one to buy sometimes. So I find, and also if you're somebody that's kind of teetering on between the different size ranges of whether you would want the larger size or the smaller sizes, if you're someone that tends to, sometimes you're a little bit lighter, sometimes you're a little bit heavier, at different times you might want to refer to each different pattern set. So yeah, that's really good. Well done to Closet Core. So I have made the Closet Core knit dress but without the bottom tier, and I've done the short sleeves. So this is the dress. Obviously you can't see very much of it here, so I will pop in some pictures and a little bit of footage of me wearing it. So this is a viscose fabric that I bought previously at the Stitch Festival in March, and it had been in my stash for a little while, and I thought it was about time I sewed it up. So I decided to use it for this. I had bought another fabric in mind for this particular dress, and I'd bought quite a lot of fabric to go for the full dress, but I thought as we were towards the end of the summer period, actually I would save that fabric and possibly make this dress again once we get to kind of the spring summertime next year, because I didn't think I would necessarily wear a maxi dress throughout the whole year. I'm more likely to wear it in the spring summer, and there's a possibility that with this one that I would wear it with tights and boots and things. So, and I still might do that, but I will tell you more about that in a little bit. So in terms, as I say, I have done this version with the short sleeves but only the first two tiers. I lengthened the bodice by 2 inches because I'm quite tall. I'm 5'8", and I'm glad I did that, otherwise it would have come literally right under the bust, which would have been not flattering in any way, shape or form. I also added an inch to the 2 tiers. If I'm honest with you, it's come out a little bit too short. I would have preferred it if I'd had another inch, or probably more like 2 to 3 inches actually on that bottom tier. But hey ho, you know, you live and learn, and that's why we kind of sew things multiple times, or should do toiles. I'm not a massive toiler, but I guess this could be seen as a wearable toile. So I'm glad I made that adjustment to the bodice. That's definitely required. You can see the line on the dress comes up higher than the line on the top. However, I personally would find, because I'm of a bigger frame, that this version here would feel a little bit sack-like. I like the fact that the dress kind of cinches you in a little bit. And so if I was to make the blouse, I would probably do this. I would probably take it here and then have the peplum. I'm not sure, but I would have the elastic, basically, is what I'm trying to say. This pattern comes up quite large. I definitely sized down at least one size, if not two. I'm pleased that I did that on the top half, although the bottom half, the first tier on me is a little bit more snug than I would want it to be, and as such at the moment I probably won't wear it as it is. It is wearable, but I don't feel completely comfortable in it, so I've got two options. I either lose a little bit of weight, which, let's face it, is probably a good idea, or I turn this into a top, which is probably the more likely option, if I'm honest with you. Although I think probably what I'm going to do is see how I get on with it, see how I feel, come round to next summer and see what I feel about it. Now, do I like the pattern? Yes. Would I make this pattern again? Yes. I would definitely make the adjustments to the bodice. If I was making the long sleeves, I'd have to check the length of the sleeves. I'd probably add a couple of inches to those as well. I often find that I need to do that. I've got quite long arms. I would I would basically size up for those two tiers. I would just make them slightly wider. But the bodice section I'm happy with. It would have come up quite a lot larger, but I feel like I've got enough room to move. I don't feel restricted, but I also don't feel that it's like massively oversized and kind of drowning. A lot of people have given kind of feedback about it being quite oversized, so if you are planning to make it, please do check the finished body measurements rather than just the body measurements, because there is a lot of ease in this pattern. As I say, I think I sized down 2 sizes. So as I say, would I make this pattern again? Yes. I'd like to make it in the maxi. I think I feel really quite self-conscious about this tier because hasn't got enough fullness in it, and it makes me feel really conscious about the gathering. But possibly if I tend to hold weight on that area, so if I lost a few pounds, then I might feel more comfortable about it. We'll see what the next summer brings and what size I am. So that's basically all I've got to say about the pattern, but I do think it's a nice pattern, and it was such fun to sew it up. Oh, when it came to the bottom of the dress, I wanted to preserve as much of the length as possible, so I actually used some bias binding on the bottom. I don't think I can show that to you without kind of flashing myself, so I will pop a picture in of the bottom of the bottom of the dress. I used some bias binding that was pre-made. It was from the Specky seamstress that I bought, I think also at the knitting and stitching show, so that kind of, I don't know, it's a knitting and stitching show dress. Obviously if I chop it into a top, then I'll have to decide whether I lose that or not, or reuse it on the peplum element of it. I do hope you've enjoyed today's video. A big shout out to Katrina for from Create Something Pretty for doing the collaboration with me. It's been really fun. It's been lovely getting to know you a little bit more. Thank you so much for asking me to collaborate with you. I'm really happy that we did, and yeah, it's just really fun to know that someone else is sewing up the pattern at the same time, and I'm really looking forward to watching Katrina's video. So I will say goodbye for now, folks, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, happy sewing, bye bye.